Hi there. Africa's case is not different than agriculture in the long-term histories of peoples. It's very important to understand it. Once we do, we can start looking on previous examples and to copy what worked good and not to try to copy what failed in the past. So let's look on what worked good. For the past 11,000 years, since the beginning of agriculture, okay? And we look on where agriculture did do well and where it did not. Well, agriculture started in the Near East, which is practically today Syria, Israel, Lebanon, Turkey, Iraq. And it started because over there they had more advantages compared to any other place in the world at that time. Later, it finished there, and the advantage moved to other places. Why? Because other places, which is mainly Europe and Asia, including China, copied some of the parts and improved it. Now, how come? And what did they do? To improve agriculture, just like any industry, you need to have a value chain. The more complete and developed is your value chain, you will have a better agriculture. So, peoples like in Africa, like in the Americas, they had just a very, very small part of the value chain. For example, many of them didn't have any of the good seeds for wheat, rice, and others. They didn't have any of the animals like horses, cows, and goats. For example, most of Africa. This is the case for thousands of years. Most of Americas. This is the case until the recent times. So they're just pieces, and therefore agriculture could not advance. But even when they did have it in more recent times, well, the value chain, first of all, it's not one thing. It is changing and it is improving over time. What was good 1,000 years ago, today is not sufficient. So, for example, today, the value chain will include having the best varieties, the best species. It is to have the concept of what you want, to have management, to have R&D, advanced, there are many levels of R&D. So an advanced one. To have field support that takes the knowledge and take it all the way to the field. To have the soft skills that farmers need to improve, to make it better. To have availability of electricity, of water, logistics, cooling system in many cases. To have the market, branding. So this and much more is what it takes today in the value chain. Many of it you didn't need 500 years ago or 5,000 years ago. But it always was, there is always the concept of the value chain. The value chain all together, this is what I call the package. When we want to bring a change to an industry, any industry, we need the entire package. So, last post I gave an example of the auto industry in Korea. they brought a lot of know-how, technology, market, branding from outside to complete the package. The same is in agriculture. To have a successful, fast-forward, advancing agriculture, we must bring the entire package. And this is the concept. You miss one piece and it's not going to move. One piece out of 20,000 pieces in one car, and maybe the car will not move at all. Especially if this piece is like a piece in the engine, or in the gear, or the wheel is not complete, and so on. So, to advance African agriculture, what we need is to look at the entire package. Then we can do it fast forward. This is a model that we can copy paste not only to Africa, we can also apply it to advanced agriculture economies, including Israel, Europe, America, Japan, Australia, and so on. This is good for anyone, everywhere in the world. Bye-bye from Africa.